August 6th, 75 years, the Enola Gay Officers Club. That's the bomb. It was in the air for 44 seconds.
Is that the bomb that they were laying that the guy was riding on?
Yeah, in the movie? Dr. Strangelove?
Yeah.
Edward Teller? The madman? Yeah, that's it. I always wanted, there's that big missile silo that sits way up there in the middle of nowhere you see coming in here off 80.
Oh, yeah.
I always want to climb up on that thing and redo Strangelove riding it. You know, he said that was all about madman Ed Teller. God, he was a psychopath, Teller. So, I talked to Jepson out here one day before he died.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, he cried. I interviewed him. He just cried.
Oh.
So I asked him about the ticker tape parade. And, because that famous photograph, you can see he's almost crying in the famous photo. And he says, I wanted no part of that parade. You know, and he says, and he got real emotional.
Really?
Yeah. So the only one that didn't, get emotional about it, I think, was Tippett. He stayed pretty pro-bomb to the end, right?
Well, most of the veterans that I talked to, in fact, virtually all of them, said, it was a terrible war and we ended the war.
Yeah.
And what they didn't, there's a new book out called 140 Days to Hiroshima. And it talks about what Japan was doing. And for the planned invasion, we had way underestimated it. We had expected like 200,000 Japanese. They had 600,000 to 800,000 ready to fight on that invasion.
Yeah, in Okinawa, what was going on there?
We would have lost at least 300,000 or 400,000.
Yeah, who knows how it play out? But I always go back to Hoover's statement after the bomb. Hoover went psycho about it. He says, never in the history of warfare have we indiscretionally killed women. Revolts my soul. So it's still controversial to this day.
And it will be forever.
Right. So I told him, you come out here the 75th just so you get a photograph. Because 25 years from now, because nobody cares right now, they will. You'll say, well, I was here.
Yeah.
You've done a great job with this, Jim.
Well,
I really appreciate your hard work.
Well, thank you. We're working on the nurses' quarters now.
Oh, nice.
We're going to have some exhibits in the nurses' quarters, and that's going to be kind of neat.
My favorite thing is here, the old swimming pool.
Oh.
God, that thing's creepy, ain't it?
What swimming?
I'll show it to you.
I wish that I keep looking for my sugar daddy, but if we had somebody that had plunk in, $5 million, I'd get that swimming pool.
You start talking, I'm living proof. If you start talking nuclear or anti-nuclear energy, you ain't getting no money. It's a miracle that you were able to get, grants, and I see that they're using it now. It was in disarray for all those decades out here.
How much money did it take to restore this?
A lot.
You're right. It is. If I said we had a cancer project, I could get all kinds of money.
But not the cause of cancer project.
No, I'm saying.
Yeah, right. Yes.
If it's a cancer group or MS or those.
Anything.
And they deserve money.
Oh yes,
no doubt
absolutely.
about that, but you're right.
What is the nurses area?
Where's the what?
Nurses area.
The one you're restoring, the nurses area.
Oh! It's clear. Well, it's a long ways away. And actually, you can go in and see what we're doing.
Yeah, we will. So, what about the folding the paper claim?
I have to tell you the code.
Oh.
The code on the door is 124.
Okay.
And it's
I know where it's at.
You know where the red building is?
I know where it's at.
The nurses' quarters is the next building east of that, the big long building.
All right.
And the code plate's on the door, and it's 124.
Okay. So the crane, that came here when that event, that was such a major deal. The folded paper crane, you still have it here, right?
That was so significant.
Oh yes.
And we called CBS, NBC, ABC, Channel 5, Channel 4, Channel 2, Fox. And the only people that came out were Channel 4 an hour late.
Yeah. And the other thing is, here I have leukemia, and Sudoku's niece hands me that, recycled paper crane.
Yeah.
She says, "This is for Kevin Blanchard, you work on Fukushima." I'm like, what a big story.
It is. It's right there. We've kind of put it in a...
I like this checkered floor.
Oh, this place has turned out so good, Jim. What a turnaround, huh? Oh, there it is.
We've kind of put her in her own
Come
little,
here. Let me get a
own
picture.
little spot.
So, everybody knows about Anne Frank. What about Sudoku? It was such a big story when I was growing up in Utah as a boy. This was a major story. Her story, we were required to read her books, and when we were kids in Utah.
Yeah.
What happened? It's thrilling, because she was 11. She died of leukemia. I have AML. I was given too much to live in 2011, but
Oh, yeah.
so it's such a big deal as far as us leukemia survivors.
I also think his talk was really...
It was powerful.
Is this an AK-47?
I liked it.
That came from a B-17.
No.
And they
I
are...
saw the bullets.
Remember, the pictures of people
Yeah.
of holding the gun?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about trying to hold one of these?
Yes.
Yeah, pick that one up, boy.
Here, come here.
Here you go.
I'm not sure you can hold it.
Come on, don't drop it on your foot. He's got his Warhol shoes on.
Can you believe how heavy that is?
Think about holding that. By the way, it's Andy Warhol's birthday today.
Is this like
He would have been 92. He talked a lot about the influence of the bomb on his career.
How much does that weigh? 200 pounds?
That probably weighs about, I don't know, 60 pounds maybe.
But I can lift it.
After that event, back to that event, Jim,
I just
HNK Los Angeles called me. Says, we want to do a piece on the USS Reagan, and I'm the guy on the activist on that. And I says, okay, I'm more than willing to, feed you any information, whatever. And then all of a sudden they just dropped it.
Really?
Yeah. And so, because they were here. They came, it was HNK Los Angeles, did show up here for that event, because I talked to him.
Yeah.
And he was the, but that's HNK's Tokyo.
Right.
And so, it gets major publicity in Asia, which rightfully so, China all over. Even Europe has dropped the ball somewhat, because, I spent so much time in Vienna.
Whoa, look at this.
But the media here in Utah is a disgrace. Yesterday, they're out here reporting on a little fire at the UTA thing. On the 70th, the bomb was dropped on the 5th, and I told them, I says, hey, this is the 75th anniversary. He flew out right here, and the reporter told me, what? What? But they drove all the way out here to report on it.
I can't. And they didn't.
Nothing.
Oh.
Well,
The other thing, thinking about the Korean War veterans, the end of the Korean War was, and see, I don't even know, it's like a couple weeks ago, but that's a forgotten war.
my dad, he died in that war.
You have
so that's my ties to
you
this.
You have his canteen, and you have his belt.
I
and
should
you
bring
have
him out and give them to you.
And you have his dress uniform.
I can't get this turned off.
This
So,
is
my dad,
that's a Japanese canteen.
that's Peter in San Diego. So my dad, he was drafted Marine, Utah. He was one of the human lab rats in the Nevada test site during the Korean War.
Wow.
He was Air Blast 1, and it killed him. I mean, he died of leukemia very young.
Really?
And then I end up with it. No coincidence. So I have part of my PhD was the children of the atomic veterans.
Oh,
and I was
okay.
studying on all those guys died of leukemia, the ones that were human lab ratted. How high is the incidence of leukemia in their children?
Yeah.
Oh, you wouldn't believe it. It's staggering. In
Really?
40 and 50. My work showed it's at least 22 times higher than the mean.
Wow.
So that's how I got involved.
That's closed right there.
Well, I'm sorry, what?
What's that exhibit that's closed right there?
The behind the cover, you mean?
Yeah.
It's a Morse code exhibit, but in order to do that, people have to touch the keys, and we
Coronavirus.
thought it probably wasn't a good idea to have everybody coming in and touching touching the Morse code keys, so.
Well, this thing's a gem, Jim. I can't believe how good it's turned out. You've really gathered up some stuff.
Is he the guy from the Slim Jim
Well,
commercial?
yeah.
He's the guy from the museum here.
I can't figure out who he is.
He's a smarty, this
Jim
one.
Carter?
Carter's smarter. So,
And we've got some new uniform exhibits upstairs too.
oh, look at this. God, I want to have a beer. So, I sat in Tippett's chair at the dinner. Remember the dinner?
Yeah.
I sat in Tippett's chair.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I had a steak. Look how nice this is. Nice. You can order you a lime Ricky.
No, you can't.
Sure.
Anyway, yeah, go upstairs and look at our new uniform exhibit.
Oh, I'm gonna. Where do you go through here?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't walk up the stairs.
Oh, let's go. Thanks, Jim. It's nice, isn't it? Oh, nice. Here, come stand by the uniform. Nice.
What is this? What is this thing for? Women's suits?
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Boy, this thing is a gem. Look at their little library. Wow, nice. Utah media
Do you
ignores it.
remember the code that he gave you?
By the way, yeah. By the way, I am in Utah. So, all right, let's stop this at 12:12. Shoot some more. It's August 6, 75 years. This is where it flew out of. Operation Alberta, the 509th. So, this is so nice. I can't believe how good it turned out. This is all his work, by the way. You know, I've assisted as much as I possibly can, but I mean, nobody can freaking give me any money. Here, hold this real quick. I want to get it right here.
That's a big U.S. flag.
Okay.
Wait, okay.
Shut it off.
No. That's a big U.S. flag.